welcome to another edition of the Defender Roundtable. We're so excited to have you with us again today, where we're talking about what's going on in this country right now. Really, just the Trump tariffs. And today we're kind of just focusing on how it's changing the game for soon to be retirees, for just people in general financially. And we are so excited to have with us today the esteemed Carole Robinson joining us, myself and Terrence Harris with the Defender, to talk about this. Hello, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, good morning to everyone, and thank you for inviting me out. This is going to be a very interesting and informative discussion.
Thank you. Well, the focus on the Trump's tariffs right now seems to be on increased prices and the crashing, rebounding of the stock market. But there's also some long-term ramifications, especially for those looking to retire in a few years. So I wanted to talk about those first. I haven't bothered to look at my 401k plans and my stocks and investments because I know that it's plummeted. What do you say to people right now in dealing with this?
Yeah, the tough part, especially for folks who are on the verge of retirement, say next 18 to 24 months, what happened over the last 3 days after he announced the Liberation Day tariff across the world. I mean, they have taken significant decline. I think I saw something where the total value lost in the stock market was over $11 trillion. That means that's hundreds of thousands of dollars in individual portfolios. And in the case of African American, because we are new to the stock market, those kind of hits erase significant sums of value, and that value has not been recovered yet, even with the 90-day suspension. So it's going to be a big concern for folks who are depending on their portfolios. I think we're going to see situations where people have to extend their work life for another few years just to watch and see. And if it's to be true, because Trump is going to be here until 2028, if he's coming back after 90 days to impose the tariffs, we're going to go through this situation again. So, I mean, I'm thinking you're going to see folks have to stay on the job until 2030 instead of leaving in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, and that's rough. That's a big ask. Because this guy, he just does not seem to get it for some odd reason, and regular people are having to suffer for it. I mean, just think about it. If you've already started making plans, for your life in retirement, and all of a sudden, and what's just happened this past week, now you have to really start to rethink your life, not just you. This ain't like you were thinking about a vacation. You were thinking about how you're planning your life, and to have this happen. And you know that the stock market is going to continue to be volatile because you can't trust it.
Yeah, what people don't understand when you're planning for retirement, it's not just the aggregate sum alone. You're also talking about what my monthly income needs are, what cost of living, and not only did the stock market go down, but we now have a situation where inflation, that I word that we've all been talking about, looks like it's going to be further exacerbated, made higher in the system. So you're now looking at the money I thought I would need, $5,000 a month, 4,000, whatever the case may be. That's
Yeah,
not going to be enough because food prices, gas prices are going to go up. There was an article the last couple of days when you start to look at what's happening to farmers. They are already feeling the cost increases. I saw one story where a farmer bought supplies and he had to pay an additional $2,500 in tariff expenses on it. And that's going to be passed on to the consumers.
yeah.
What do you say to those people that are like, well, I don't have stocks, so this doesn't affect me?
Well, you have stocks in a couple of different ways. Even if you don't have a 401k or another government funded plan, you may have a pension on the job, teachers, bus drivers. And even if you don't have a pension, your Social Security is technically, most of your Social Security money is invested in the United States Treasury bill. So when we pay Social Security taxes, when that money goes in, Congress takes it out of the Social Security Trust Fund, gives the trust fund a treasury bill, what they call a T-bill, and interest rates on the treasury bill is impacted by what's happening in the market. So whether you have direct investment in the stock market or you're doing it indirectly through Social Security or your pension fund, what's happening with the tariffs are impacting you. And then just being a plain old consumer and all of us hoping to see interest rates go down, that's not going to happen for a while. Even the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell said that in the last few days. The economic outlook and what the plans the Federal Reserve had for lowering interest rates, those are on pause. So if you want to borrow some money against your house to refinance it, to take some money out, your credit card interest rates. So when people look at the stock market has ripple effects all across your wallet and pocketbook.
Yeah. And see, I'm like Rashonda. I just haven't even looked. I don't want to see because I know I'll get upset, you know, and be even madder about everything. So I'm just like, I'm dreading looking. I know at some point, maybe even this weekend, I
Don't
need to
do it.
sit down and just, you know. But I mean, I figure I got eaten about 15 years before I really need to worry about it. So I'm just like, you know, should I even look?
No, I would say to somebody like you, because you're at a age in life where you still have runway. It's
Hmm.
not even worth it if you're going to do anything in the next 5 years. You know, you start to make adjustment in your portfolio where you are moving to, and I would encourage all kind of folks to do this as you go further along the timeline. You know, start moving to tax exempt bond accounts. Start, pegging your stuff against the Standard and Poor. Start looking at dividend stocks. So even if the prices go down, you're still going to be making money on the dividends to rebalance your portfolio. You may not make as much each year, but you take out the volatility and you bring that down to protect yourself in the long term.
All right, I'm taking notes on this.
Right. Good information to know, especially because we do see a lot of people say, well, I'm not even thinking about that. But even, if you want to buy a car, all of those, like you said, have ripple down effects that people really need to pay attention to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, y'all are too young to remember this, but the interest rates we're facing now are the worst in American history other than in the 1970s. These are the highest we've seen in this country's history in a long time. And even with the tick down in mortgage interest rate, you're still paying 6, 7%, depending on your credit risk profile. And that's a lot of money on a 20 or a 30-year mortgage. Hopefully people are smart enough not to do balloons, but 7.5%, that's a lot of money over 30 years, just in the interest payments.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be keeping an eye on this, and we thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. We hope you enjoyed this discussion, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next Defender Roundtable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all
Take
have a
care.
good day.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.